The building was silent except for the sharp echo of hurried footsteps, the kind that warned something terrible was unfolding even before the mind could fully register it. In the bright, polished corridor of the corporate tower where he worked night shifts as a janitor, Ethan Carter heard the frantic thudding before he saw her. A woman in a flowing red dress, eyes wide with fear, sprinted toward him as if her life depended on it. Behind her, the unmistakable shadows of armed men surged forward, their heavy boots striking the floor like thunder. His little daughter Lily, sitting quietly beside his cleaning cart, clutched her stuffed rabbit as fear washed over her small face. The woman gasped for help, and in that terrifying moment, Lily's trembling voice broke through the chaos as she whispered, "Daddy, please stop them." It was the kind of moment that tests a person's soul, a moment where instinct rises far above circumstance. If you believe kindness still exists, if you believe people deserve second chances, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Thread so we can continue sharing powerful stories like this one. Ethan Carter had never imagined he would face armed men in the middle of a shift. He was a former military mechanic who left the service after losing his wife in a car accident 3 years earlier, leaving him to raise Lily alone. He took the janitor job because it was the only position that allowed him the hours he needed to be there for his daughter, and he kept his head down, hoping for a simple, quiet life. But life rarely respects the boundaries we draw around it. And that night, fate pushed him into the kind of battle he thought he had left behind long ago. As the men charged closer, Ethan acted without thinking. Maybe it was instinct, maybe it was fatherhood, or maybe it was simply the refusal to let innocent people be hurt, not on his watch. With one swift motion he pushed Lily behind the cleaning cart and stepped forward, gripping the metal mop handle like a weapon. The first man reached him with brute force, but Ethan sidestepped with sharp precision, striking him in the knee and throat in one fluid motion. The men hit the ground instantly, the impact loud enough to shake the hallway. The second lunged with his rifle raised, but Ethan grabbed the barrel, twisted with a strength he didn't know he still possessed, and slammed the attacker into the wall. The third man hesitated, clearly surprised that a janitor had just taken down 2 armed assailants. That split second of hesitation was all Ethan needed. He rammed the mop handle into the man's stomach, swept his legs, and pinned him to the floor. Adrenaline, fear, and something deeper, something protective, fueled every move he made. When the final attacker lay unconscious, Ethan turned to find the woman in red pressed against the wall, tears streaking her face as she watched the single father who had just saved her life. Her name was Claire Donovan, a corporate lawyer who had accidentally uncovered evidence of a massive internal crime. Those armed men were sent to silence her before she exposed the truth. She had been running for her life when she stumbled upon Ethan and Lily in that hallway. Security arrived minutes later, alerted by the commotion, and the building went into lockdown until authorities took over. As paramedics tended to Claire, she kept looking at Ethan with a mix of gratitude and disbelief. She didn't understand how a janitor with tired eyes, calloused hands, and a gentle smile could fight with such precision and courage. Lily clung to her father, still shaking softly, but her tiny voice filled with pride as she kept whispering that her daddy was a hero. Ethan didn't feel like a hero. He felt exhausted, overwhelmed, and worried about how the night might affect his already fragile little girl. But something inside him shifted. For the first time in years, he felt a spark of purpose he thought had died with his wife. When the police escorted Claire home under protection, she turned to Ethan and promised she wouldn't forget what he had done. To him, it sounded like something people say in emotional moments, easily forgotten by sunrise. He didn't expect anything to come of it. He didn't even expect to see her again. But fate sometimes delivers in ways we least expect. The next morning, as Ethan arrived home after a long night, he saw something that made him freeze. A full black-tinted motorcade was parked outside his small apartment building, sleek luxury vehicles that clearly did not belong in that neighborhood. Uniformed security personnel lined the sidewalk. Neighbors peeked through windows and around corners, whispering in shock. Confused and worried, Ethan approached cautiously, clutching Lily's hand. When the rear door of the central SUV opened, Claire Donovan stepped out, no longer in fear, but with a calm, confident grace that felt entirely different from the terrified woman he had met the night before. She walked straight to him and explained that after giving her statement to authorities, she had spoken with the district attorney and several high-level executives connected to the case she had uncovered. She had told them about Ethan, the janitor who put his life on the line for someone he didn't know, the father who would risk everything to protect his daughter. She revealed that she had requested special protection for him and Lily, knowing the criminals could retaliate. But beyond that, she had insisted he deserved something more, a chance at a better life. With the support of the officials she had worked with and the corporation whose wrongdoing she had helped expose, Claire had arranged an opportunity for Ethan that left him speechless. The company was offering him a full-time security consultant position with benefits, training, and a salary more than triple what he had ever earned. It was a job that recognized the skills he had hidden for years. A job that would allow him to give Lily the life he always dreamed of providing. Ethan didn't know how to respond. His heart was heavy with gratitude, disbelief, and the emotion of a man who had carried too much alone for far too long. Claire knelt down to Lily's level and gently told her that her daddy was one of the bravest people she had ever met. Lily smiled shyly, still clutching her stuffed rabbit, and for the first time in a long while, Ethan saw the spark of security and hope returning to his daughter's eyes. It was a moment that softened something deep within him. As weeks passed, Claire visited often, not because she had to, but because she genuinely cared. She bonded with Lily, encouraged Ethan, and became a presence they never knew they needed. Something quiet and beautiful grew between the three of them, a fragile new beginning shaped by courage, kindness, and unexpected connection. The night of terror that could have broken them became the night that brought them together. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Thread so we can create more inspiring stories like this. Before we end, Sparkle's special request, comment, heroes come in all forms, if you believe bravery can come from anyone.